All right, friends, it's T-Man. I'm back with a new video. Guess who? The Bumbaclot himself. JasonBlaha, the Rustaclot of the fitness industry, man. Yes, the gym, lifting, diet, fitness, vegan slave. I'm going to review this video today. It's going to be interesting. This one's a good one, man. So Blaha says beliefs impact our gains in the gym. Depends. It can impact, sure. Can it impact your gains? Well, yeah, I don't know. People are really stupid out there, but okay.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here. Thought I would sit down and do another video for you.
You've all probably already heard this one, placebo effect or some shit.
Guys and gals, let me get a sip of my water first. Get my beautiful radio voice going. Let's talk about this. Hold on, let's check the forearms. Arms located there, all right. All right, we're going to talk about the power of belief. Power of belief. This is old classic studies. I'm not going to link them because I don't feel like digging them up.
You know, here's the funny part about the power of belief. I mentioned this in my other videos. I said if you want to visualize yourself as being young, if you want to be young, then you have to visualize yourself as being young, whatever age you're shooting for. I don't know, 30, 25, whatever. And then you have to implement it. You understand me? You have to implement. In other words, you have to eat accordingly and cut out all the bad stuff so you could get there. That's the whole point of the belief system. I think, yeah. I bet you he's going to say these things. I haven't even watched this video yet, but I know it's based on placebos and certain things. If you tell people certain things, they will believe it. If you tell them that they're stupid, they'll believe they're stupid. If you tell them they're smart, they will act smart.
They're very easy to find. They've been referenced 100 million times.
I know the Army, Navy, they use this. The American Army, they use this a lot. Belief system.
Maybe even 100 trillion times by other people. You can find them anywhere. They're that commonly referenced. Showing the power of belief, ranging from, do you believe that something has steroids in it? Do you believe you have good genetics? They've basically created fake scenarios and put it in the lab and see what happens. All right, first one of those studies. They took two groups of people. They gave one of them a sugar pill. So it's just a sugar pill, right? Nothing special about it. This is to make sure they both got the sugar so no one could say, well, they ate that sugar pill and it might have caused an insulin response.
Okay, when people take steroids, real steroids, what's the first thing they start doing? You can watch these channels, they tell you. The first thing they start doing is they work harder. The second thing they start doing is they start eating more. Why didn't they do that previously, before they took the steroids? Why didn't they work harder and why didn't they eat more? You understand me, man? Okay.
Made them gain a bunch of muscle. So we eliminate that. They told the other group, this pill is an extremely powerful anabolic steroid that puts a lot of muscle on people, and we want you to take it in this study. So what did they do? They did like the supplement industry did, and they lied. Because that's how the supplement industry works, right? They lie about everything. Nothing, literally nothing they make can help you gain muscle. Some things have some minor health benefits. Creatine might help a little. It shows it helps just a little bit. It's the most heavily studied one that shows that. Gives you a very, very, very tiny extra drop of muscle potentially. Outside of creatine, nothing else has ever been found. And if it did, it would be illegal. But they lie. So just like the supplement industry, they lied. They're like, it's going to give you gains, guys. Except that they didn't just say it was a supplement. They told them specifically it's a powerful anabolic steroid. Potent. Right? Like them bull testicles and liver kings feeding you. And about as effective, equally effective. Although I would say maybe those carbs, because there's an insulin.
Steroids don't build muscles, man. It's artificial. They don't build muscles. They build artificial muscles, and then it's maintained by the steroids. Stop the steroids, and the artificial shit all goes away. The artificial look and everything, they do certain things, steroids. They can suppress certain avenues, do this, do that. But once you stop it, that's artificial. Suppressing something is artificial. And then when you stop taking it, it goes bye-bye, because it's artificial, bro.
Response is probably more anabolic than anything Liver King's feeding you. insulin being an enormous driver.
Liver King is eating what? Testicles, whatever he's eating. Food. He's eating food. He's eating ancestral diet, bro. His natural diet, whatever. Now he's going to tell you that's not good for you. Okay, whatever.
Of muscle growth. So,
him and this muscle growth is based on an adaptation principle system. That's how it works. Everything is built on adaptations in this reality. Yeah. So the more adaptations you get, the more you can build muscle. And food is adaptatory as well. You need to eat food. Your body eventually adapts to certain levels of food. You need to go all out. You need to be in an anabolic growth state. What does that mean, anabolic growth state? Well, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. That's why people have it all misconstrued. How much protein do I need to eat?
what do you think happened? Have them train in the gym. Now, when I say placebo happens, we don't mean that the placebo makes muscle grow. It means it subconsciously has an effect that makes you respond different. If you believe something is going to give you better gains, you're probably going to try harder and work harder in the gym. Kind of a big deal. Did you leave 5 reps in reserve, or did you take the set to failure? Just squeeze and brace with everything that you...
Here's the funny part. This is the laziest guy on the internet, Blaha. Now that Blaha took some steroids and lifted a heavy weight, why doesn't he rep it out for super high repetitions so he could get a new adaptation? He never does. He does 1 rep maxes. It's the laziest lifter I've ever seen. Here's the point of going to the gym. So, like everybody, people do bro splits. They go to the gym, they split, they get an adaptation somewhat in some muscle build, some muscle damage, and then they build stronger, bigger, stronger. They also get some adaptations, getting better at lifting these weights and androgen receptors, motor unit proliferation, yada yada yada. Okay, all these things, they make you stronger, right? At some point, you get really super strong. You get, you're able to bench heavier, OHP, lift, deadlift, squat, do a bunch of other things as well, other small, minor things. You can do them all heavy now. Okay. You've tapped out of these adaptations. Let's just say you've tapped out, kind of. Now that you're a lot stronger and better and you're a more advanced lifter, now is the time to do full body workouts. And then go eat for a couple hours after your session at the buffets. Eat there the rest of the week. Eat a lot, as much as you can. And come back the following week and hit it again. Full body workout. You'll get this. You'll be resensitized. You'll get this damage to come back. And you're lifting, or you're already stronger. You're able to lift heavier. So it won't interfere with this, reduce force capacity and range of motion and all that. The point is to get super strong and get more force production so you can force the weaker muscle fibers that they could damage and then repair and remodel bigger and stronger. That's the whole point. It's just a different type of exercise regime. That's it.
Yeah, or did you just flop through it? I mean, that could double your gains alone right there. Just those things could literally double the amount of muscle you gain.
Just those things could double your gains. What kind of gains? Sarcoplasmic, myofibular? He doesn't really say. How can a pill give you an adaptation in muscle damage? How can it give you an adaptation? How can a pill get you an adaptation? He says it's going to double your muscle gains. But how? If you've already adapted to all these things, how is the pill going to get you an adaptation? The pill itself, it can get you an adaptation. See what I mean? None of these things can get you over MND size limit. It tells you during hypertrophic process, it reached the ceiling limit during hypertrophic process. Beyond where the progenitor cell, the satellite cell, can donate any extra nuclei to that domain to support further muscle growth. So how the fuck can a pill overcome MND size limit? It's impossible. Only the progenitor can. It has to donate its nuclei. Why? Because it synthesizes protein to further support further muscle growth. Nuclei support further muscle growth. How do they do that? They synthesize protein. Protein. So no matter how many pills, these placebo bullshits and everything that you take is never going to overcome MND size limit. It's impossible. Only an adaptation can, and a donation of the nuclei by the satellite cell to support further muscle growth. Pills don't support it. None of these things are going to support it. Get it? It's highly controlled by follistatin, myostatin, and the satellite cell. But when the satellite cell is activated, they can't occupy the same space. Myostatin and the satellite cell cannot occupy the same space. So it overrides myostatin, the satellite cell, when it's activated. But it's only activated in an adaptation. Okay, man?
Okay, maybe tripping. So what do you think happened in this study?
Nothing.
Well,
Here's what happened. They worked a little bit harder, and they may have gotten an adaptation because they worked slightly harder than previously. That's about it. They may have got it, and it's not because of the pills, because they just worked a little bit harder. And they ate a little bit better.
What happened? The first group that took the lunch gave just normal gains that you would expect. They gained muscle, right? They had them on some good. I think they gave them the programming, had them trained. They did gain muscle, did pretty good. The group that was given the sugar pill but lied to gained a lot more muscle. I mean, it was significant. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was a lot more. And if I recall, it was something like at least 20% more muscle growth. It might have.
Given the sugar pill, they gained more. Oh man, whatever. What type of muscle growth though? Sarcoplasmic, myofibrillar? He doesn't say.
Been 50%. Again, I'm trying to go off memory. It's hilarious. Why? Because they believed they were going to get better results. And if you believe
It's not hilarious.
that you are predisposed to get better results, you're going to work harder.
Blaha believes he's going to get the body of his dreams. He believes all these steroids work for him, but they don't work. Nothing works. His body doesn't work. His belief system sucks. See what I mean? Look at him.
Right, we've seen this in my studies with the drowning and everything too, but this is direct human study related to muscle growth. They flat gained more muscle and more strength by being given a fake steroid.
They didn't gain more strength. They got better at lifting, getting more strength by lifting. You understand me? They just strived a little bit hard. They just strived a little bit harder.
And nothing in it. There was no drug. There was nothing there. It was sugar. Okay? They gained a lot more muscle. Another study about genetics. They took random people. Like the supplement industry, they lied. They lied. They told these people, they took some blood samples and said, we did genetic testing on you. They took two groups of people. They didn't do any testing. They completely completely randomized trial. Okay? They didn't do any genetic testing, and they just randomly pulled the names out of a hat almost, randomly selected the two groups. What do you think they told the groups? They told one group in the genetic test, we found that you have slightly below average genetics for gaining muscle. Okay, this is important because how many of you guys out there tell yourself that? I have below average genetics. I don't have the best genetics. I don't have good genetics, right?
What do genetics have to do with building muscle? It's based on an adaptation system again. I'm just correcting this just so people can understand. I don't really care what JasonBlaha says. I'm just telling you, what does a genetic have to do with muscle damage and an adaptation, building muscles, repairing and remodeling? What does that have to do with anything?
Tell yourselves that all.
So you have poor genetics to get an adaptation? Is that what you're saying? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Or I have poor genetics during the repair and the remodeling phase after I got the adaptation. I can't build muscle. Why aren't you eating enough? Well, because I have bad genetics. That's why I'm not eating enough. What, isn't eating based on building muscles? Yes, sir, it is. So why the fuck aren't you eating? Because I have bad genetics? Why are you working out so lazy? Because I have poor genetics. I can't gain muscle. I can't get an adaptation. Well, why don't you work out a little bit harder? Well, I can't do that because I have poor genetics. Whatever, to gain muscle, whatever.
A lot of you guys do that. Well, the study is going to tell you the exact results of doing that. I'll tell you the exact results. Because they took the other group. Again, randomly selected. They didn't do any genetic testing.
No, of course not.
They told the other group, you have superior genetics. You have a gene that's a rare gene that not many people have.
Wow. They have a gene, a rare gene, that's going to magically get the progenitor to donate its nuclei to support further muscle growth without an adaptation, without damage. Okay.
That predisposes you to gaining muscle and strength faster than the average person.
See, it predisposes you magically, even though all bodies work the same, all human bodies work the same. It's based on the adaptation principle, but Blowhole is going to convince you that you got a special gene, that you're predisposed to getting more muscle than other people. Get it? Yeah, you can get you're going to get adaptations without even trying. They're going to magically fall out of the sky, man.
In other words, lied to them and told them that they had superior genetics.
Now, if you eat a lot of carbohydrates, especially, here's the thing, what if somebody just eats a lot of weird carbohydrates, like these simple carbohydrates, bread, pasta, weird shit and all that, but the guy next to you, which you think has better genetics than you for building muscle, he starts eating more complex carbohydrates. Remember, they absorb better, they don't spike insulin. They make you kind of anabolic, you could say. So these glycogen proteins, they build up. So you get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. You build a lot more sarcoplasmic than the other person. Does that mean you have the gene to build muscles? Remember, glycogen proteins, they're not regulated by the satellite cell or myostatin, follistatin. You understand me?
You know, keep in mind in bodybuilding, what's a superior gene? Being really short.
Again, I'll explain this. Myofibrillar growth is highly regulated by these mechanisms in the body. They're regulated. But sarcoplasmic is not regulated by any of these hormones. You can put on as much as you want of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Plus, fat cells are not regulated either by any of these things. They do not have a domain limit. You can put on as much as you want. Why do you think these bodybuilders are so massive taking these steroids? They look like what do you call it? The Michelin Man. They're all puffed out like crazy. That is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy.
Being borderline a midget is considered superior genes in bodybuilding. Clearly, you can see that because they're all like 5'5", 5'6". Go in a room full of IFBB pros who've been at the Olympia and tell me they're not. They're not 5'8" or 5'9". That's a lie. I've been in the room with these people. So back over to superior genetics.
He was in the room with IFBB pros since when? Look at him smugly laughing. This guy's mentally, man, you're dealing with a sick person. It's crazy.
Oh, bodybuilding world. What do you think happened? Very obvious what happened. The group that were lied to and told they had good genetics versus the group that were lied to and told they had bad genetics gained more muscle and more strength. Because they lied and told them they had better genetics. The other group probably didn't train as hard. They didn't put as much effort in. There was just not as much.
Well, yeah, that's what happens because they didn't put enough effort. They figured there's no point in putting in the effort. Man, this is nothing new, Blaha. Whatever.
Intensity, not as much consistency. Because they thought they were going to get inferior results. And because they believed they were going to get below average results, they did. Because they put in below average effort.
So why isn't it working for you, Blaha?
The group that were lied to and told that they had great genetics, superior genetics, what they were told is what came to fruition. Because they believed they were going to get better results. They did. Why? Because they're like, man, I'm glad I could really get a lot out of this study. They're giving me good program, good, some good coaching. I'm gonna get the most out of this, man. Especially now that I know, because it was a little short-lived, because in their head now they've had for weeks to, I got some.
A good genetic has nothing to do with building muscle. A good genetic means that you were built taller, slimmer, this, that, maybe more type 2 muscle fibers than type 1, blah, 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 yada, yada. That you have good athletic abilities and so forth and so on. That's good genetics. What does that have to do with building muscles?
Genetics. They probably even recovered faster because they believed they would.
If you're building real muscle, that has nothing to do with recovery. It has to do with the repair and the remodeling. If you're recovering, that's going to be ATP. That's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles.
They gained more muscle. Do you guys understand this? Lying.
Can you prove that that they gain myofibular muscle, Blaha, and not sarcoplasmic? See, that's the thing. He can't prove any of these things. Again, this study and everything is flawed when he talks about this stuff. It is flawed because muscle is highly controlled, and it is controlled by myostatin, follistatin, and the satellite cell. So, and it's protected through the RBE, the repeated bout effect phenomena. Protects muscle with a repeated bout from any more muscle damage. The repair and the remodeling makes it resilient, stronger from any further assaults, and then it hides in type 1. And most of you ectomorphs have more type 1 than type 2 muscle fibers. Yeah.
To these people in both of these cases about either something they were taking or their inherent.
It is incredibly hard to build muscle, if not almost impossible, because it's built through an adaptation system. That's how it's built. If you don't understand that, I suggest you study it.
Potential made them get better results. Belief affects your gains.
Nothing new, man. I already know. The belief is, as long as the belief is stronger, you will be young. But you have to put it into practice. It doesn't just, I believe. Yeah, the belief is, I put it into practice. That's how things work. Yes. Yes.
All right, now.
If you believe you're going to get rich, and you don't put it into practice, you're not going to get rich. It's just sitting there. That's not going to happen.
That's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals.
Yeah, I guess it's one of the first videos. It was kind of informative. It was informative, yes. I don't know. It's old information, but okay. I'll give him that one. I'll see you in the next one, man. Touch, think about the like, subscribe, support the channel, helps. Comment down below. It helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. The belief is stronger. Very strong. The force is strong in you. See you in the next one. Ciao.